The fourth largest beverage brand in the US market is launching an energy drink, which is cool, but I'm more interested in what the Gatorade Fast Twitch announcement means to PepsiCo's entire sports nutrition portfolio strategy. So let's get the product announcement details out of the way first because that's the trigger event that sparked the creativity for this content. On September 1st, PepsiCo revealed that it would launch a caffeinated energy drink formulated specifically for athletes under the Gatorade brand, and that spinoff would be called Fast Twitch. Now, if that product name sounds familiar, sit tight because I will get to why that memory is flashing in your head very shortly. Fast Twitch is essentially an energy drink and sports drink that's kind of mashed up together, that's also uncarbonated, contains no sugar, and has no artificial colors or flavors. Each bottle includes 200 milligrams of caffeine, B vitamins, and electrolyte levels that are consistent with other Gatorade sports drinks. It will also come in a collection of popular Gatorade flavors such as Glacier Freeze and Cold Blue. As for packaging design, the plastic bottle will be primarily wrapped in lime green. And to be completely honest, when you see the multiple flavors in a group image, it looks like the beverage version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. While we are talking about maybe design double takes, the Fast Twitch mark looks very similar to the FaZe Clan logo. Not to get us off track early, but this is the kind of oversight that continues to happen at PepsiCo and chips away at your confidence that they know what they're doing. First, you had the Mountain Dew Rise Energy IP mistake that basically ruined that energy drink brand's launch. And now you have another kind of possible market confusion, which is really uncalled for at PepsiCo because they literally have a gaming energy drink brand called Game Fuel. So they should have some type of decision makers inside of their organization that could quickly notice the connection to a $1 billion publicly traded esports lifestyle company, FaZe Clan, right? But back to Fast Twitch's packaging. Below the product name and mark, it will include kind of a prominent words that says from the makers of, set above Gatorade's G Lightning Bolt logo. This sub brand design architecture now seems standard, as Gatorade also places its logo on the fitness water product Propel. That wasn't always the case, though, as Propel originally looked nothing like Gatorade when it launched 20 years ago. The only connection to the Gatorade branding was a small lightning bolt on the package. While Propel corrected that mistake fairly quickly, Gatorade has still been asking themselves, is the halo effect of our brand strong enough to eliminate needing to write the word Gatorade on our new sub brands? 17 years after launching Propel, Gatorade kind of found out that answer with only using the lightning bolt on the Bolt 24 sub brand. While I don't think the packaging design was the only reason why Bolt 24 was unsuccessful, it did play a central role in it. Since we're talking about the now defunct Bolt 24, its soul does live on within two new Gatorade products. The first is with Gatorade Fit or G Fit that launched in February, and I'll kind of bring that up again a little bit later in this content. And then the second is this Fast Twitch product, as Bolt 24 did have a caffeinated variant called Energize. There are a few kind of differences between those two products, specifically the caffeine content. Bolt 24 Energize only had a little more than one third of that 200 milligrams of caffeine that is contained in Fast Twitch. With that amount of caffeine, Fast Twitch will be merchandised in the energy drink set at large retailers. This is partly because PepsiCo and those retailers likely wouldn't want the rare occurrence to happen where, say, a mom picks up a Fast Twitch product for her 8-year-old kid to drink during sports activity because she didn't read the label beyond seeing the Gatorade logo and it being merchandised within all the other Gatorade products. Now, what does Fast Twitch potentially offer the growing $16 billion US energy drinks market, especially in sets at large retailers? That would be incrementality. That's an extremely powerful word in CPG that often doesn't get talked about enough. Retailers love incrementality because those products generate sales that truly add to overall revenue rather than simply reallocating revenue from one product to another, thus cannibalizing that other product. Gatorade Fast Twitch would align within the performance energy drink subcategory that was created with the spike in popularity of Bang Energy about like 5 or 6 years ago. I often refer to that as the Bang Energy effect. But instead of Gatorade launching a typical carbonated performance energy product and cannibalizing other competitor categorical sales, they decided to make the product non carbonated. That lack of carbonation now positions them in a gap which fills a consumer pain point for those that use performance energy drinks before a workout or sports activity. Yes, non carbonated performance energy drinks have been around for decades. In powder form, obviously, but that creates friction for some consumers that aren't comfortable or familiar with mixing up sports nutrition products in beverage form, but almost all of those options are sold in brick and mortar specialty retailers like GNC or the Vitamin Shop. And again, that creates friction for some consumers that just don't shop at those types of retailers. So, for mainstream consumers that shop at places like Walmart or Kroger or Target, this is a completely new thing that's attached to one of the most powerful beverage brands in the United States. Now, does that mean Gatorade Fast Twitch is going to be the next $1 billion energy drink brand? No, that's kind of fucking absurd, quite honestly. This product is positioned within a niche of an energy drinks market subsegment, and most importantly, that total addressable market isn't even at that level yet. With Fast Twitch leaning into that sports and active nutrition beverage world, it's a good kind of transition for us to talk about the growing importance this functional CPG category is having at PepsiCo. In its latest quarterly earnings, PepsiCo's leadership stated on its earnings call that we remain optimistic about the runway for growth within the sports nutrition category. This optimism is pretty obvious by the recent innovation focus at PepsiCo with product extensions into additional Gatorade fuel solutions, or what the brand now calls its all G portfolio of products. It might have taken Gatorade 53 years to introduce a sugarless product, but the mid 2018 launch of Gatorade Zero has proven to be a wildly popular decision with consumers. That was followed 3 years later by a protein version of the Gatorade Zero. A few months after that, Gatorade launched Gatorlight, a rapid rehydration beverage for elite athletes. This move was in response to Abbott Nutrition owned Pedialyte expanding product and marketing communications that now directly competed with Gatorade. Additionally, the Mexico based sports drink challenger brand Electrolyte was starting to make some noise that a defensive kind of product strategy was needed by Gatorade. In February 2022, about a half year after launching Gatorlight, Gatorade kind of recreated the previously mentioned G-Fit out of the ashes of Bolt 24. My hardcore Gatorade fans will recognize G-Fit as a previously used concept that launched in 2011. That takes us full circle to Fast Twitch and why that product name might sound familiar to some of my audience. Fast Twitch was originally a ready to mix pre workout powder and beverage under the sports nutrition brand CytoSport. PepsiCo acquired CytoSport in early 2019 from Hormel Foods. While that name might not ring a bell, even casual observers of the sports nutrition industry will be familiar with CytoSport's protein sub brand called Muscle Milk. Since the acquisition, I'll be kind of completely honest in saying that I was almost kind of lulled to sleep by PepsiCo's relative inactivity with the CytoSports portfolio of names. Yes, I did notice that PepsiCo had cleaned and kind of sharpened up the Muscle Milk branding and products. Yes, I see them helping a little bit with the plant based protein brand Evolve. That was also a part of the CytoSport portfolio. And then, yes, I also saw them basically SKU rationalize or deprioritize basically the entire CytoSport product line. I thought it would kind of end up being just another sad story of a large CPG company buying a sports and active nutrition legacy brand and letting it fizzle away. But then I got the heads up from someone that noticed PepsiCo began listing Muscle Milk and Evolve products on the Gatorade website. This was about 2 weeks before the launch of a watered down CytoSport Fast Twitch, Gatorade Fast Twitch. So, getting back to that introductory statement, could PepsiCo possibly be merging its sports nutrition brands together? If so, what does that mean long term? Now, the new president of Gatorade Performance Portfolio has said one of the goals he wants to accomplish is to reconnect with the brand's roots. Toss in that the CMO recently stated Gatorade aspired to serve a broader aperture of athletes. I think you'll be kind of seeing Gatorade both deepen its solutions for elite athletes and simultaneously broadening into more active lifestyles. The signs look to be pointing towards a continuation of what's already been in process. Gatorade will start to absorb the CytoSport family of brands to make a more cohesive sports and active nutrition strategy. Kind of firstly, Evolve will be the plant based protein offshoot of the Gatorade Performance portfolio. We will see what they end up doing with the branding adjustments to connect it with Gatorade. This will also signal what Gatorade thinks about plant based athlete lifestyles. Secondly, Muscle Milk will be the milk based protein offshoot of Gatorade Performance portfolio. It will continue to focus on outside of the hydration category sports nutrition solutions that are above and beyond the current reaches of Gatorade. I wouldn't expect product expansion outside of protein and amino variants, and we will also see what they do with branding adjustments to connect it with Gatorade in the future. And then thirdly, Cytosport is kind of completely dead and will be stripped for parts. While I likely can't remember everything, I'm fairly certain there isn't much usable IP in terms of product names or concepts left that would be appealing for Gatorade outside of Fast Twitch. So, then what's next long term? Gatorade CMO also recently stated there are some exciting things coming around the corner with innovation from a multitude of fronts. Some of that innovation might be more aligned with categories like their GX sweat patch delivery technology, but I want to kind of keep this content focused on the CPG space. While Gatorade still holds, I think, just above 70% share of the US sports drinks market, they are facing increased competition and categorical shifts. The most obvious to note is with body armor, but I think product to product, Gatorade now has a competitive stack that wouldn't need anything more defensive at this point. On the other hand, hydration has broadened as a category stemming from the liquid IV effect. There's this kind of white space in the market for those looking beyond water for their hydration needs, but high intensity sports were not relatable to their lives. Propel might be that sub brand to meet those consumers where they are, but new ideas will need to emerge because right now, Liquid IV sells 3 times more than Propelled powdered offerings across large retail channels. That being said, I don't think Gatorade can be everything to everyone in today's market. So I would love to see PepsiCo make additional mergers and acquisitions moves in the sports nutrition category. If the sports nutrition category is growing in importance as PepsiCo leadership has stated, why not attempt to kind of consolidate a fragmented space and compete directly against Glambia Performance Nutrition or Nestle Health Science with a differentiated portfolio? I won't kind of rustle any feathers by naming names in this content. I know, disappointing, right? All I know is that I'm suddenly paying more attention to PepsiCo in terms of its sports and active nutrition news than I have kind of previously ever, or maybe in the last few years combined. So we'll kind of see how the things play out. Finally, if you want me to kind of dive deeper into the hydration powders market more, aka the liquid IV effect, let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. If you did, consider hitting the like button to support me. Also, help me get to my near term goal of 2,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to see you join me on this journey, but we need to fix the fact that almost 80% of you that are watching this YouTube video right now are not subscribed to my channel, and that makes me extremely sad. But thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.